This has not been the easiest film. I mean, it's been the hardest project I've ever worked on, because you're with guys that you work on something and you fight, and guys don't want to make the film, or they want to use the footage for promos or whatever it is, and you're constantly fighting because you're telling them, hey, you know, there's a real story here, and if we wait, it's going to pay off. And in the midst of guys looking at their clocks and saying, oh, I don't know if I have time for this, and you're going, man, do you have any idea what this story could do if you just give me the time? And you're constantly fighting against people who don't see the same value as what you value. So that, but at the end of the day, you look at these guys and you go, this matters. This really matters. Matters to me. Those 5 guys, when I look at them on the screen, it matters. I hope my story is what their story is. This is just bullshit. I do not want to do this at all. I don't want to wait. I want to go now.
So the other morning, was that yesterday morning? We went to the lake.
Oh yeah.
Was that yesterday morning?
Great. You bastard. I know where you're going.
What?
Just go.
See if you could just talk to me about chasing light.
Yeah. I knew. See, you set me up. I should have known this question was coming. So what Jake wants to hear is the fact that we were chasing the light yesterday morning because we have one day. I've already argued it out and had to change the schedule so that we can go get one more day out in the country.
DC?
Yeah.
There's the sun right there.
Yeah.
And it's at 5:47.
So how long will it take us to get to here?
When you continue?
No, up to here,
Up to
and then
here,
come.
it's like 20 minutes.
What's that going to do?
It's close, right? Because it's going to pop up in. It'll pop up in 5 minutes. So
Would you take the shot up here? The light's totally happening, and I kind of become a slave to the light, and so this thing starts going off. But as I said, the challenge is you get all these filmmakers in a van. We're going out. We want to hit 2 shots, and then we're actually going to go to the location. Well, the guys get out of the van, and everybody gets out of the van. It's like a horror movie, and somebody says ghost. I mean, everybody just takes off to do everybody's shooting, and I look around, I'm like, what the hell just happened? And the sound guy, he's up at a church because they're singing, and I can't find anybody. And so the great light hasn't happened yet, and now all of a sudden we're taking off. So I'm in the van, and where's Sean?
Hey Greg, I think Sean went up into that church area to get sound.
Really?
He's gonna get left, I'll tell you right now.
Just go run and see if you can see him.
No, I don't want to wait. I
Yeah.
don't want to wait. I want to go now. All of a sudden, everybody looked at me like, what the heck? TC's willing to leave the sound guy? I was like, well, it was great leadership, TC. We drove up, and it was like a circus car on fire. Next thing you know, we're just charging down this hill. We see this peninsula, I know the light's it's about to come over this volcano, and it just started happening.
When I worked in the movie business, we used to call it magic hour, and I heard a lot of people actually call it tragic hour because it's the time when it's most beautiful, the morning and the evening, but it's also the time when you're kind of the most rushed because the light is fading quickly. Just really trying to capture kind of the beauty of Rwanda right now, sort of the countryside and the landscape. Everywhere you turn the camera, it was a good shot, you know, I didn't have to really do much. I can't even really articulate it that well, but if you show a leaf blowing in the wind. There's something nice about that. I don't know what it is. Something kind of an innate characteristic, human characteristic that sort of, I don't know, we kind of gravitate towards that and it evokes emotions.
5 years ago, I was actually on this peninsula and saw it, but I couldn't get it. And so we got it. So the trip is broken out into basically 2 parts. We're with the team at the training center, and then we move into Kigali. We have 2 main objectives while we're in Kigali. One is to finish out these interviews, because that's going to be the main content of the film. And second is to cover this race that could potentially offer our ending to the entire film that we've been shooting over 5 years. So anytime you have a film like this, you got to find a liaison, someone who knows the culture and the people that can kind of help you out.
Someone that you can trust, someone that can get you places. It's everything.
Our driver, Abdul, is that guy.
He grew up here his whole life. He's sensitive to the story, he believes in the story, and he can speak into our film. He's the one who's kind of coached me through this. I ended up in an interview, and the guy was lying. And he's having another conversation in Rwanda, but the other thing is he's a great translator. He's telling me things I don't know because I don't know what they're saying. It's the little things. It's getting us groceries. It's helping me exchange money. It's telling me what's a good deal or what's a bad deal. It's like, don't trust this guy, trust this guy. What's someone who is the color of his own people, who understands what we're trying to do, paves a golden road to making this film possible. Can we get some eggs? Eggs? Yeah? Yeah, I didn't know how to ask him. Eggs? Yeah. Yeah, for breakfast. Okay.
I can ask.
Okay, yeah, some eggs.
Or we can go.
Do we have bread for like toast or anything?
Let's keep the eggs. I will show you.
Oh, is it a better place? Okay. See what I'm saying? I feel terrible. I put Abdul under extraordinary stress. Turning him, we're going one direction, we turn 360 degrees, go the other direction, but that would get us the same direction. I told you I couldn't do math. do a commercial for this right now. Be like, come on. That was good. For the camera, be like,
You're doing it after you'll become like tiger.
We got to Kigali and we had 4 interviews to shoot in one day, which was super aggressive considering the language barrier, translation, sound. There's people everywhere in Rwanda. I feel like I've got this timer that's stuck with me that says, okay, 18 days, but it's by the hour. I have to get these interviews today. I have to get them here. I don't have another choice. And I get the translator, I get everybody there, and then we start banging out these interviews.
When you go scout out the place to do parks?
Yeah, I'd like to do it in the back somewhere. Okay. Or we can do it right under here. Yeah. I think we could.
Sean probably won't like it too much.
Sean's gonna hate us. Hey, Sean. So we're starting our first interview. Jeremy fights for the light. He finally gets his location.
I really love the way it looked. We were filming this guy, and he was sort of in this door frame, and behind him was sort of this bigger kind of auditorium room with a ton of windows. And we had spent time set dressing it. I was ready to roll, and as soon as we were about ready to roll,
the roof starts, it's rattling. Next thing you know, you just hear wham, wham.
Entirely localized, just in this circular area.
What's going on, Sean?
Well, it sure sounds like it's raining inside, but if you look up, I don't see anything. I see some kind of dark clouds, but I do not see any rain or feel it.
What's going on the roof?
We can't figure it out. It might be just the construction of that metal and the way it maybe hit the frame and the... That's a good thunder sound effect.
It stopped.
Was that bugging you with the brushing?
I just trust Sean. If I don't trust Sean, there's just banging everywhere. Birds, avocados falling out of trees, it doesn't matter. The challenge has been between camera and sound. You've got your main camera op, which is Jeremy, and he's fighting for picture. And then you have Sean, who is fighting for sound. And I've never seen two groups of people kind of want something, but you can't meet them both. So you get great sound and the picture doesn't look so good. You get great picture, but the sound is awful. And we've shot several interviews on the strip that it's like, but I can't win. I'm kind of looking at both of them going, you guys argue between you because I can't figure this one out. I trust you both. Okay, plan B, we're gonna spin it right here and set dress that corner and close those doors. Yeah? Okay. We don't have a choice, it's gonna sound horrible. Jeremy kind of went with it, but you could tell he wasn't very motivated. Jeremy wants pretty pictures.
You know, I had to compromise the look of the film for sound, and that was probably the hardest one so far, just because I loved the way that one looked, so it was a little frustrating. I had to compromise, but maybe we can go back to that location when it's not so windy and do another interview there, because I really like the way it looks.
I knew pretty early on, I knew Tom was passionate about cycling.
We interviewed one of the coaches, and then we moved on and shot the next interview, which was with one of the riders, Abraham. Who's racing tomorrow?
It's all about an interpreter. You can't get anything done without understanding their language.
One of the things you're watching for is the translator telling me the truth of what they're saying, or are they telling me something that the sentence didn't end and they've already interpreted what's been said?
I talked to JP, John Paul, today. And he says that he's very important to him from South Africa. He said he's very important to cycling in Rwanda.
Any interview you do in Rwanda is really limited. They only have about 10,000 words in their entire language, and they don't use a lot of words that involve emotion. If I asked you how you felt, they wouldn't understand that. So you've got to constantly be thinking a different way to ask a question. The reason for that is you've got to simplify it down so that you get your answer. But you're going through 3 parts of translation. That part makes it incredibly difficult. I'll ask the same question 3 or 4 times until I can figure out exactly what's the truth.
So a lot of people in Rwanda know him. How does he feel? How does...
Ask them if they're cheering for him.
Sorry?
Ask them if they're cheering for him. Cheering, the noise. So I want to see where these guys live. I've met some of them. I've been to their homes a few years ago, but now I want to see where they're at today. So we decided to go to Nathan's house. Hey, we can walk through and then we'll come out and shoot it.
This one is sleeping room.
Here, hold on one second.
Do you want me to
Come
get
stand right here. Can you shoot that? I want to take a picture. Hold on.
Do you want me to get John?
Yeah. Take off my shirt. John Russell is probably one of the most unique guys on this trip. The light's beaming through this window. It's beautiful. We need a bounce board. Instead of John turning around and putting his back to the shot, he decides to take off his white shirt and use it as a reflector. So, yeah. The cultural embarrassment of John Russell taking off his shirt in the middle of someone's house. That guy's a slave to the light. I think I'm bad, that guy's bad.
I mean, it was cathedral-like light streaming through just a slit, and it was glorious. And yet, with Nathan's dark skin and all that, it needed a little bit of fill to take that light that's coming in, kick it back at him. It's literally the catch light. And they used to say, the eyes are the windows for the soul, and this is a pretty soulful place.
Yeah. They're scared of Mzungu.
I mean, that sky is you couldn't buy that. You couldn't even get that post.
Yeah, post green screen. Nathan, who lives in this house?
Now it's not.
Well, the light's great until we get there, and 5 minutes later, a windstorm totally erupts. Okay. We'll do it. Am I going to get anything on an interview? John? Are you getting anything off his?
Well, who's shooting what?
Oh, I can cover it in B-roll if you want to shoot it.
All right, yeah, just need to make a note of it.
Okay. So what does this house say to the people in your community?
Second piece.
What do they think when they see this?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel.
You know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, it's only as good as what I can hear. It's disaster. It's total disaster.
Planning for the race is the kind of thing that would keep me up at night.
It's a big, big deal.
It's been that looming storm on our horizon since we got to Africa, since before we got to Africa, since we started talking about coming back to Africa.
It's nerve-wracking. It's super nerve-wracking.
I just have this like recurring nightmare of one of our guys dropping a camera or something and it like tripping up a whole peloton of 120 riders.
Am I nervous? Heck yeah, I'm nervous.
What happens if we don't pull this off? I don't know.
I can't think about that right now. I can't think about what happens if this race doesn't work.